Yeah, my name is Turk Jones. I own Chaotic Tattoo. Man, I'm from Atlanta. Like, you know, I'm an 80s baby from Atlanta, old Atlanta. Not the Atlanta you niggas know today. I jumped off the porch probably when I was about 13, right into the streets from the west side of Atlanta. And we was trapped out.
I do that all the time, so it doesn't the same thing as the paper. If you turn the mirror off, then it'll reverse it.
Like if you say this tattoo, I have in my head.
So at a young age, I was really in the streets, heavy in the streets, selling dope with my family. And the only other thing I knew was skateboarding. Young white kid in my neighborhood, the only white kid in my neighborhood. Met him at the bus stop. He was riding a skateboard. But other than that, we were trapped out in the hood. That's all we knew. Wasn't even no tattooing in the picture at that time. It was the last thing on my mind. What it was, a nigga named Pretty Boy back on the west side. Nigga named Pretty Boy in the 90s used to do all the tattoos in Atlanta. If you really from the A, you know what's going on. But yeah, me, my cousin, them, my family, we was trapped out. I remember once that nigga caught me in the trap drawing. That nigga said, "What you want to do? You want to get some money or you want to draw? Put the pencil down and go and answer the door, nigga. It's Jay's at the door." So, you know, I didn't really get no support from, you know, certain aspects of my family because, I mean, why would they support it? Ain't no money in it. At least little did we know. Tattooing saved my life, man. I was so caught up in the streets. Everybody felt like I was doing some shit I ain't had no business doing. But, you know, I ain't had no guidance. But one thing I can say, my family did do. My family made sure we was creative. They made sure we did things artistically from a real young age. And we ain't know what we was gonna make of it. It's just shit that our parents did just to keep us occupied. You know, sit down and draw on a sheet of paper.
How was your childhood?
Came up on the west side in Lincoln Homes. You know, Perry Homes was right next door. Like I said, if you're from Atlanta, if you're from the west side, you know that's basically project living. You know what I'm saying? And they'll say Perry Homes is one of the worst projects in Atlanta. But I guess you could say that about any projects in Atlanta, right?
Home is a public housing project in familiar red brick, Perry Homes. It is like most such projects in most big cities. And
they'll say Perry Homes is one of the worst projects in Atlanta. But I guess you could say that about any projects in Atlanta, right? Anyways, Lincoln Homes was right next door to that. Being young, it was just me and my little brother. We were the most light-skinned niggas in the hood. We looked different. We stand out. From the average person coming up in the project, just a black person, we mixed. You didn't see motherfuckers that looked like us. So we had to deal with that. And it wasn't easy looking different from everybody in the hood. It wasn't no white folks, mind you. I really didn't see white folks till I got to high school. You know, the elementary school was in the projects, middle school, everybody all from the projects. So you don't see white folks. That shit just not a part of that side of Atlanta. Except for that white boy Doug. Him and his mama had a lonesome house right on Bankhead. House didn't even make no sense why it was sitting right there. A white family in there. And that motherfucker skateboarder. And I remember we were young as hell, maybe like 13, 14. I went in his house, that motherfucker answered the door with a 40 ounce. And his mama in the background talking about, "I don't approve of this shit." We was only 14 years old, man. But that skateboarding, you know? We was wild. We didn't give a fuck about nothing. Nobody gave a fuck about nothing. That's how we end up skateboarding. And the same guys I used to skateboard with, I used to paint with. We used to hit the streets with some spray paint. We steal the spray paint, by the way. That's a whole other story. First time I rode a skateboard was in the projects. I don't even remember how old I was. I remember I was real little. And niggas didn't even stand up on skateboards in the hood, mind you. In the hood, niggas was sitting down on skateboard riding down the hill. And that's all we ever knew at that age. I was so young, I might have been 5, 6 years old at that time. And everybody had skateboards riding down the hill, sitting on that motherfucker. This kid, Patrick, Doug used to hang with Patrick. He had a car and he had a camera. Simple as that. And I mean, I think what put me in the mix was just because my skateboarding was just, I stood out. I was young, I didn't know what I was doing, but I was skateboarding good enough to where this kid that got a camera felt like I was worth filming. So he started asking me if I wanted to take a ride with him and come with him, you know, and skate with him. And at first, I was just watching him film his other homies. But after I started getting in the mix and started getting used to skating with them, shit, I was film worthy at that point. Started filming me, and then we became like a crew. It was 3 of us, me, Doug, and Patrick. We just skate every single day, 7 days a week, no fucking days off. I'm skipping school. Even when I used to go to school, I would fucking go to first class, the first period, my first class. I'd go in that motherfucker, let them see my face, let them mark me as present. As soon as I leave out of class, I'd walk right out the back student parking lot. Patrick be in the back already waiting for me. I'd jump in the whip, we go off skate. My boy already be in his trunk. It was like, it was planned out. Other days I come to school, I'd be so faded, so drunk or so high, because I'd go to school getting fucked up. I didn't care about school. Fuck school, we going skating anyway. We finna go get some footage. We finna go get some clips. Fuck that, fuck school. It is what it is. You know, that shit made me stronger. Plus I wasn't there anyway. I just skip school every day and go skate downtown. I was downtown in the city skating with a bunch of grown ass men that was smoking weed and drinking all day and skateboarding. And that was it. We shot a video and we put it out quick, and it was complete garbage. Even the shop owners that we showed it to, when they saw it, they was basically like, you know, we like y'all are cool, but y'all can do better. I was just skateboarding and selling dope. I already had it in me to be creative because, I mean, you know, from a young age, we were. But those guys I used to skateboard with, they started a graffiti crew, and I used to get down with them. And then I started going to jail for stupid shit. Spray painting, vandalism, theft for stealing spray paint. I done went to jail for stealing spray paint. I'll tell you some crazy stories about how we used to steal spray paint. I don't know, a lot of graffiti artists wasn't doing what we was doing when I was doing it, how we was doing it. But we used to steal spray paint by the motherfucking shopping cart. We used to go up, back before they used to lock the spray paint up, we used to fill up a whole shopping cart full of spray paint. And really, spray paint expensive. So we'll have over $1,000 in spray paint to where the shopping cart hard to push. I'm literally running out the motherfucking store with the shopping cart and my partner waiting out there with the car. We used to dump the motherfucking in the trunk of the car and then jump in the car and drive off. And I got locked up for that shit. And I got locked up for that dumb shit. And you know, my cousin them found out about that shit and they snatched me up and they like, nigga, you getting locked up for this? Like, nigga, you gonna come over here with us, and you gonna sell this dope with us, and you gonna sit down, because if you gonna go to jail for something, nigga, you gonna go to jail for something that makes some money, that makes some sense. You out here running the street doing all this stupid ass shit, it ain't getting you no money, sit your ass down and do this. So there you have it. Like, it wasn't no money in being creative as far as I could, put together at that time. My cousin Dwight and my cousin Jerry, my cousin Jay Leno, the both of them really was already knee deep in the game by the time I had, started fucking with it. Them guys had already beat the streets up. They already had made a name for our family just off the two of them running together around the west side. So, people knew me because of my family. They like, oh yeah, you Leno and them little cousin, and that was cool because it saved my ass a few times. But really, like, I wasn't even really associated with that shit. It wasn't until I wasn't really associated with what they had going on like that. I mean, I was always there, but I wasn't really actively just working with them until I was like, I don't know, like 15 years old maybe. So at a young age, they was already older. They had already did the work. So when it came to dope dealing and all this and that, a lot of young kids in the trap that came up from nothing, they had to stand on the streets, stand on the corner, stand outdoors and sell dope. But because my cousin them was already doing so good, they had trap houses, and instead I kind of just graduated into working in the trap house from day one. And they used to tell me all the time, like, nigga, you got it made. Like, you skipped some grades. You didn't even have to do the shit we had to do. We did the shit so you ain't had to do. We stood on the block so you ain't got to stand on it. You get to come up in this nice trap house with air conditioning and a sofa, and you get the motherfucker sit up in here and answer a door, nigga. You know what I mean? Nigga, you got it made compared to us. And I'm like, shit, this is all I know, so we in it. And it wasn't easy either way, but like, them niggas used to swear by that shit, like, but nigga, you got it made compared to us. So yeah, I started out selling dope in the trap house. We was selling crack to some Migos, to Mexicans, mostly. If you from Atlanta and you was doing that shit in the early 2000s, the Migos, goddamn, they was putting food on the table for your ass. Yeah, we were trapped out on the west side. Took over Cobb County, went to Franklin Road when the shit was ripe. We was dodging Fed cases. But I was still skateboarding somehow during that time. And mind you, during this particular time, I wasn't drawing or being creative on no level. My life was void of any real creativity. I was just skateboarding and selling dope. I already had it in me to be creative because, from a young age, we were. I was going to jail so much for selling dope and possession. I kept catching possession cases, dope cases, one after another. My girl was so sick and tired of me going to jail that at one point or another, she purchased me some tattoo equipment without even my knowledge. I was in the county jail talking to her on the jail phone, and I'm like, baby, I've been drawing up here in jail, and they like my drawing. They say I should be a tattoo artist. I'm like, but shit, fuck tattooing, man. I don't want to touch these niggas' skin. These dirty ass niggas, I ain't tattooing shit. She heard that shit, and that shit really stuck to her. And when I got out of jail, man, like I said, I came home, it was a package at the front door. It was right by my birthday and Christmas. So she kind of like made it a gift, but She was sick and tired of me and the bullshit I was on getting in trouble. So she bought some tattoo equipment for me and told me to do this and learn how to tattoo. So that way I wouldn't have to do shit that kept leading to me going to jail. And that girl right there is nowhere near my life no more. And she don't have no fucking clue where I'm at with tattooing right now. But, you know, fuck her and thank her at the same time.
Past.
Yep. Confirmed?
I mean, nobody comes to everybody, but I tell you somebody that can say that.
Hey, that's real.
Be able to sit still.
I just be feeling like just some regular ass petty criminal, man. But when that sheriff was releasing me from Ware State Prison, he had this device and he scanned my fingerprint on this device. And the shit was like an NCIC like background check on me that they scanned me before they released me from prison to make sure I wasn't supposed to like still be in custody somewhere else or something. And a list of all my charges came up. And this guy, I'm in a maximum security prison getting released, and he looking at my charges, and he looking like, damn, son, like, you sure got a whole lot of cases and arrests and getting locked up. And I'm like, yes, sir, I'm a career criminal. Like, I really don't know what to say. Like, I'm getting released from Ware State Prison thinking that, you know, it's a lot way worse people doing way worse things. And this officer looking at me like, damn, man, you done been arrested a lot. But a bunch of petty shit, a bunch of small time, getting caught with minor possession left and right, DUIs, driving with no driver's license. Shit, I don't know, just stupid shit. It was that one dope case that really got me in the headlock, sunk me down the road to prison. But getting out of prison that day, I don't know, something hit me when that man told me that shit, man. I'm like, I realized that I had been the type of criminal that was like a real petty criminal. Most of the criminals that maximum security prison probably committed one crime and they got sent to prison for life. Me, I got 50 different fucking arrests on my record. And that shit wasn't normal for like somebody getting released from this prison. So he was surprised at that, but I had to look at it like all them arrests wasn't about nothing, wasn't about no money, wasn't about no business. I was just on some dumb shit and got arrested damn near all close to 50 times. In and out of Rice Street, pre-trial, Cobb County, DeKalb County. What the fuck I'm talking about, man? Almost 50 different arrests. That kind of hit me like, damn, you was on some real petty dumb shit, like a bunch of stupid arrests that didn't amount to nothing. That was what I found out the day that I got released. So I got to walk away from prison knowing that. And that kind of like had me moving forward with a different kind of frame of mind. That was one of the things that hit me that helped my frame of mind, because when I got out this time, I hit the streets running and I was focused and I was ready. And it wasn't no more playing me. I was done playing. I was released from prison in 2015. I still had about a year left on paper, and I didn't give a fuck. You know, I linked up with a couple of my partners trying to figure out what I was gonna do, but ultimately I just said fuck everything and everybody and moved out to California. I came out here because I had a cousin that was out here doing this thing, corporate, Silicon Valley type shit. And I was just gonna goddamn piggyback off of him because he told me it was like that. So I hopped on the first thing smoking and came to LA for the first time in my life, July 2015. And yeah, I started tattooing right away. I met up with this dude, Dave. He owned Dave's Tattoos. I know he had a tattoo shop in the hood on Venice Boulevard, and I know he had the one on Crenshaw in Leimert Park. Yeah, when I got out here to LA, he one of the first people I met. Real cholo gangster, old school guy, and real LA motherfucker. Gave me my first shot. We working on Crenshaw, and it was sketchy. This motherfucker had a tattoo shop, the home of the $25 tattoo, or $20 tattoo. I don't know. All I know is he was giving it away for nothing, and he was running that shit like a trap. We were doing names, little simple little hood shit, you know, nothing too challenging. And you know, Dave cool, that's my partner still to this day, man. But that tattoo shop, that was some hood shit, man. The art that was coming out that motherfucker, the artist that was in that motherfucker, the clients that was in there, all of it. That shit was, we was in the trenches. And that's mainly because when nobody else give me a shot, I had to go where I knew somebody was gonna give me some fucking with. And later on down the line, a few months in, some people put me on to another tattoo shop. Some shit over by USC called Pink Wall Gym. When I got out to LA, I was staying in Watts with my cousin. We in Watts, staying with his girlfriend. But I had my own room though, hey. And I would go to this tattoo shop by USC and work with this guy named Alex Ramirez at Pink Wall Gym, and that ain't a shout out. That motherfucker lame as hell.
Okay.
7 years?
Yeah.
My 7 years.
We met at Dave's Tattoos on Crenshaw in Leimert Park. That spot was crazy. I
Like
call him
that.
Cholo Dave.
Cholo Dave, there you
To
go.
me, that's his name, Cholo
Yeah.
Dave.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, fuck it.
So yeah.
His socks be high as hell.
And then that's when, I think like maybe like a year of me working in there, that's when I met Turk, right? I want to say, I don't know, around there, yeah, for sure.
Dave was the guy that gave me my first shot when I was in LA. Dave's Tattoos, the home of the $25 tattoo. That's
It was
what
20.
Oh, you thought it was 20?
I think it's 20, yes.
Good grief, what the fuck? Well, yeah, Dave had us in like sweatshops. Them folks would be mad as hell.
Swap me.
Them folks would be mad as hell because when they'll come in, they think I'm finna get their ass a $20 tattoo. And they be talking about what they want, and when I give them their price, they be looking at me like, oh, this nigga disrespectful, man. Somebody finna beat this nigga ass, man. What's wrong with this nigga trying to charge me anything other than $20 fucking dollars? Shit, for real, dead ass. That's how niggas felt when they come up in days. I ain't gonna lie. You ain't getting more than $100 out of a nigga up in days. It's all good. That was a cool ass shop though.
It was chilly, yeah.
Yep. Met some cool people. Met Shelly. Dave, he's still around to this day. Dave's still tattooing.
I remember he was posting about it, but you know, I was just like, I know he was elevating, like, you know, so you know, there's nothing to do but to just, you know, watch people elevate. And I thought it was cool that he opened up his shop, you know, because he used to work at Dave's, and I'm like, oh, cool. When did you ask me to start working for you, Turk? I don't remember, but
no, I had hit you up. You ignored me, straight up. You ignored me. It's all good, Shelly. You know you ignored me.
Yeah, I did for like a whole year.
You heard that for a whole year.
No, it felt like it.
I ain't mad. It was probably about a year, but I wasn't mad. People got their own lives and shit.
It was.
Yeah, but you know, I'm persistent like a motherfucker if I want something. So I kept hitting Shelly up. Cause I already knew
you
she
hit me
was
up
like
last time.
the missing link to this whole thing. I ain't lying. So yeah, eventually everything works itself out. We got Shelly here now, and
I could say it's a much better ground thing, stability.
Oh, a little bit more stability.
Yeah.
Working at Dave Tattoos was an experience just because, you know, I'm being so new to LA. I ain't understand the LA culture like that. But I ended up coming to Inglewood not long after that. I had a falling out with my cousin that I came out to LA with. And when shit went south with that, that's when I realized I ain't had no family in LA. Me and old girl fell out. I had already fell out with my cousin. That's what I came out here with. Once that was a wrap, I was pretty much homeless after that. And I got fired by the motherfucker Alex over there at Pink Wall Gym. This motherfucker fired me. He tell me I can't be a hustler at the player ball and a tattoo artist all at the same time. And he sat down and just had a one-on-one with me, just telling me about myself. And essentially, I was just dealing with a stone cold hater. Like, the nigga was just a real fuck nigga, just a hater. Couldn't stand to see me be me. And I had to get up out of his shop, because I was me. So I had to leave. So that left me homeless and unemployed. But I started beating up the streets because, you know, I couldn't go out like that. You know, in LA, it's either the haves or the have-nots. Which one you gonna choose, man? You know, you end up on Skid Row where you can make something of yourself. So, you know, I dug deep and found myself a job on Hollywood Boulevard working at Lucky Tattoo right on Wilcox and Hollywood Boulevard. Me and my partner TKO. I gotta shout out to TKO because if it wasn't for him, I wouldn't even have that job. Motherfucker really was one of the big reasons why I ended up taking off. I got that job at that tattoo shop. When I tell you I was homeless, man, my partner Jock in Inglewood, he found out I was sleeping over there by Rogers Park, in the back of the park, by the skate park, in the back of the community center. He peeped game, and his ass put me in a apartment across the hall from his mama's apartment. Somebody had moved out, and the door was still unlocked. Maintenance had left the door unlocked. So I was living up in that motherfucker for like a month straight, tattooing on Hollywood Boulevard, playing broke, catching the bus all the way from Inglewood to Hollywood Boulevard. And man, I stacked up a few bands and bought my first pound and trapped out that tattoo shop. I peeped game. Everybody around Hollywood Boulevard was buying their ounces all from the same smoke shop, same dispensary. But the thing about it wasn't nobody buying more than an ounce. Everybody on the block hustling, and ain't nobody really trying to boss themselves up. So I'm like, damn, all I gotta do is just go to the same place they buy their pound from. Buy their ounces from, by a pound and then undercut the shop so they don't have to go all the way down there to get their weed. So that was a no-brainer. I started having the bags. I started selling them weed. I took off. That was it for me. Tattooing. The owners of the tattoo shop, wasn't nobody there. They had a camera in there watching me, but they very, very rarely ever watched it. And I trapped that motherfucker out like I was in Atlanta, man. Like I was still selling crack on the west side. I'm talking about all the way to the point to where, I ran up a real check in that tattoo shop. They eventually caught on and fired me. But not before I really paid my dues in Hollywood. So after that,
How you doing? My name's John Kane. Originally from Inglewood, California. I met Turk when I was 16, 17 years old. I went up to him randomly when I was just hungry, when I was doing my music, writing, still doing the music, but when I was way hungrier then. And I said, can I just spit some bars for you? And I rapped for bro, and ever since then we've been tight. We've been cool right on Beach in Venice, in Inglewood, right by La Tierra. Highland Elementary. And from there we just kicked it off, man. That's been a mentor. That's been somebody that's always showed me things. Transitioning from his previous life to where he is now was such a big and huge accomplishment. But taking the tactics and the responsibility of being a man and growing into a man and pouring it to me as a young man was very helpful for me during my younger days, and it molded me into the person I am today.
Right before your armpit, but it's gonna trickle around there. But up here, like around the inside of this, where your nerves connect, tickles.
I've been knowing Turk almost a year. I want to say it is a year, but I'm gonna just stick to saying almost a year.
What's your relationship?
Turk is my big homie, my mentor, my tattoo life coach.
very nice, man.
Take a lot of pride. Everything's like my story, it's my life story. So this is my label. This is just how I feel. My grandma down here. That's what I'm saying, bro. I love tattoos. I like your shit too. Your shit's crazy.
And I saw Chaotic Tattoo on Instagram and, pulled up on him randomly. I called him, seen if he needed an artist. He said no, so I asked if he needed an apprentice, and I was here in 30 minutes right after the phone ended.
That nigga didn't even tell me he was coming. That nigga just popped the fuck up.
I can't hear you talking in there.
After I came in the next day, I had just got laid off from my job, so I started drawing consistently. Started dipping into my savings for gas to get out of here, and art supplies to learn more. After I did that, then I just started seeing my work improve. Going from a tattoo artist that would tattoo from the house, I thought my work was good. Especially seeing the work that I put on my own legs and stuff like that, or tattoos that I did on other people. I thought it was good work. Come to find out, it was not as good as it is now. I still got more work to do though, but it was a starting point. So I think luckily scrolling on Instagram that one day kind of put me in a position where I can be a much better artist than what I was before. This, I got a shop dog one day, and
This is my dog, Trouble.
Trouble is a dog with sharp teeth, like just looking real aggressive. So I did that, just doing graffiti outside. Like I've never touched a spray can. My kind of goals for tattooing, I don't want to work full time at just a regular 9-to-5 job anymore. Even though I'm a mailman right now, I'd rather tattoo every day. It's something that I can do from sun up to sundown and not feel tired or burnt out or dreading coming into work the next day. A feeling of bliss, peace. I get to expand my horizon and, kind of see how my art flourishes and see how I was feeling that one day, especially with this.
No, it's all good. Your stuff's safe here.
Yeah,
This one right next door.
It's like a habit. I'm like, I don't
Print out a few different sizes. Let you pick which size.
I get come tattooed up. Look at my neck. See my neck? That shit got me looking right. Yes, sir. Pull up right here. Chaotic.
Yeah, when I say I wasn't spending no money and I had like child support building up. So all the child support that built up when I was in prison for 7 years, that done accrued. And then when I get out of prison, I'm like, hell no, I ain't paying that. Really, to be totally honest, it was a long time I felt like I wasn't never gonna pay that. I ain't never gonna have no driver's license. I ain't never leaving the country, never getting no passport. Cause how the fuck I'm gonna pull myself out of like $40,000, $50,000, $60,000 of debt? It was $40,000 by the time I got out of prison. Man, by the time I started paying the shit, it was $60,000 in debt. Shit was so crazy. I couldn't pay it. I couldn't pay nothing. But I was glad that they wasn't coming looking for me trying to lock me up about it. Because then I would have had to pay it. You know what I'm saying? But I could dodge my responsibilities, okay? Same time, I'm going and fixing my driver's license, going downtown Atlanta, going to the courthouse every week. Gotta go to goddamn walk-in court so I could goddamn address a different charge or some different shit that I done did years ago. And the only reason why I'm choosing to address any of this shit at this stage in my life is because I'm having a check now. And I ain't no damn fool. I'm wise enough to know that if I got some money, the first thing I'm gonna do with it is pull myself out of the hole that I'm in. Cause I can't really live. I'm gonna be basically running from. I'm gonna be, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. A man on the run. Even if like I'm free, technically, you still running from your responsibilities. So I got all these responsibilities that I ain't never handled, and I'm in my 30s now, my nigga. And I got all this shit I ain't never took care of. But now I got the money, and yeah, I did a little spending, you know. I bought some nice things. I bought Rolexes, jewelry, designer clothes to keep up with Atlanta. You know, if they want to take you serious, you're gonna have to spend a little money. You know, make it look. You're gonna have to look the part. So you know, we did that. But when it really came down to it, man, I went to the child support office, man. We got them a big stack of money orders. They said they ain't never seen nobody do that shit before. To go up in there and pay off $60,000 in back child support and do it over the span of 2 days in a week time. I didn't even care fuck what the IRS thought or none of that. We gonna pay this shit regardless. Paid it all off. Nobody asked me where the money came from. Just paid it off. They was glad to get their money. You know what I'm saying? They ain't send off no IRS, nothing. It was behind me. And now I could drive my Mercedes in peace. Don't have to look over my shoulder. Took myself to the DMV and applied for my driver's license. I was like 32 years old, I think. I applied for my driver's license and got it. I was 35, 36 maybe, to be honest, if I'm the timeline. Like 35, 36 when I got my driver's license for the first time. And that's because I took responsibility of my life and paid off all that back child support before I did anything serious with my money. And that was that. And yeah, I got my child support out the way. I'm up to date on everything. I got a passport now. And anytime I'm ready, I'm saying, fuck you niggas, I'm out. But not having the freedom to do that, kind of like, you know, like it's a lot of young black men out here that going through that type of shit. Older black men, people that just stuck and don't know how to find their way out of that shit. But I was determined to find my way out of that motherfucker. And when I did, I think I did the right thing. And once I did that, I took my money, started investing it, set up a Roth IRA, a mutual fund, set these types of things up, things that I didn't have. Now, we got a trust set up. We got life insurance policies, things like that. That things that I ain't know nothing about before I got a check. But as I was getting that money, motherfucker, my people was in my ear whispering, advising to me, telling me what to do. And here we are now. I own a tattoo shop on Melrose Avenue, and all I did was take that dope money and put it in the bank. Unapologetically, I wasn't scared to put my money in the bank. All you niggas out there talking about, I can't put my money in the bank. They gonna take my money. They gonna this, they gonna that. Bro, that's the biggest fucking lie a nigga ever told you, man. I've sat and watched my motherfucking brother go to the bank. Now, I gotta say, the bank tellers were scrippers that he knew from the club, but their day job was in the club, and I watched that man take over $100,000 and deposit it in the bank in one day, and it was dope money. I got another partner that go to the motherfucking bank every motherfucking week. My nigga Sonny Funny Money, gotta shout him out, cause that nigga go to the motherfucking bank, and every motherfucking week, he be standing in line, he be talking shit, like you niggas don't never come to club bank. You niggas be in the line, standing in line at all these different clubs, spending your money up, but you niggas ain't never at club bank. Why I don't see you niggas in line with me? And he deposited a big check of dope money. And ain't nobody ever come after a nigga. So it was easy for me to just decide, like, all right, man, I'm finna put my money in the bank. I watched this nigga do it. I watched this nigga do it. What's gonna happen if I do it? Not a bitch ass thing. I'm putting my money in the bank. And it was one of the smartest things I ever did. Because having cash don't mean shit. You can't build credit. You can't do none of that shit until you got some money in the bank, some revenue. How you gonna get a credit card? Who gonna trust you with a credit card? Who gonna trust you with anything? Plus, I was the same way I had to pull myself out of debt with the state. I had to pull myself out of credit card debt. I had like a 350 credit score. You know my shit, 800 now, or 798 to be exact. But you know, like I had to pull myself out of several different holes. But when you got a check, it's easy to do that if you got your head on straight and you're doing the right thing with the money. You know, because I know a lot of us, we as black men, we done found ourselves in a hole. That's common in a motherfucker. But when you take some simple steps and you just make a decision to just you want to be free, you want real freedom, you got to put your freedom first. That means you're going to have to get in front of your responsibilities. And that's just a fact. And I wouldn't be able to have this tattoo shop today, and I'd still be trapped out in the street with no driver's license, no Mercedes, no passport, no none of that. I could say I got $100,000, $250,000 in the safe. Nigga come take that shit from you any motherfucking day. Shit be gone in a flash. The police come take that shit from you. My partner AJ talk about it. He an OG from Atlanta skateboard. He talk about it a lot. He said, you know, all them niggas, they got an opinion about what you doing or what you ain't doing, but what the fuck are they doing? What the fuck are y'all doing? I get it. I used to look up to a bunch of folks for skateboarding, But we older now. We adults, and like, yeah, everything that I was doing in the streets that everybody was striking me down for, well, that shit kind of helped mold me into the man that I am to be doing the shit that I'm doing right now. And I had to do that shit to get to where the fuck I'm at right now. So everybody who was judging me and disappointed in me, well, goddamn it, if I would have just been focused on skating and only skating, then I might have only ever been a motherfucking skater. But I was a hustler. I wanted to get money out of him, man. I wanted more. Fuck money. I just wanted more. You know what I'm saying? I still wanted skating, but I ain't want that enough. Once I got a taste of what it was like to really be 10 toes down in the streets, I ain't gonna lie, skateboarding became secondary. I couldn't believe it, because that's my first love. Like I said, like I was really bullied coming up, so I was really off in my own little lane doing my own shit. And when I ended up selling crack, that wasn't intentional. I was just gravitating toward trying to spend time with my family. That's what they were doing, and they were damn good at it. So why not be with them and be up under them? They had all the respect in the city, so I should be with them, right? I mean, I wasn't getting money no other way. I was getting fired from jobs left and right. What's the point in working? So I was doing what everybody else in the neighborhood was doing. Nobody in my neighborhood skateboard. Everybody looked at me like I was white, like I said. So I feel like I did what I was supposed to do. I feel like I did everything right, even though everything was kind of wrong, essentially, you know what I'm saying? Like, actually, literally, everything was actually wrong, but there ain't no rules to this shit, what I've learned in the game. But you know, I worked hard to get here. I worked real hard to get here, man. And I came from literally nothing, from zero, from the bottom. Motherfucker love that story, don't they, man? Like, it ain't that uncommon, though. It ain't that uncommon. This shit happened a lot of times to a lot of different people. I just happen to have a story that look good. The story look good. We on Melrose Avenue with it. I'm trapped out. I know. Everybody know. Everybody know my reputation. Nigga know me in the street.
I think we found the end of it.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to